from Nashville, Tennessee. It's the three. And here's your host, Laura Harris-Smith.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dr. Laura Harris-Smith, and welcome to The Three. Today, what we're talking about is going to apply to you at some point in your life, if it is not already. We are going to talk about grief. People experience grief in such different ways and on such different levels. Sometimes it's the loss of a loved one. Sometimes it's the loss of a dream, a job. It comes in waves. There's so many different aspects for us to explore. And I just want to read this definition of grief for you. It actually says, and this is just according to the Webster's Dictionary, deep sorrow, especially that's caused by someone's death. Very simple. Deep sorrow. And some of the, if you look up the synonyms for it, it can not only mean sorrow, but misery, sadness, anguish, pain, distress, agony, torment, affliction, on, despondency. And of course, Jeremiah would tell us lamenting. And so today we're going to explore all of those things, and we're going to minister to you if you have been in a place of grief. And we're going to do it with a very special guest. He has been on The Three many, many times, and I love him. He's a dear friend of ours. He's a brother in the Lord. I say he's my big brother. And I'd like for you to welcome him back to The Three. Today is Dr. James Goll. How are you doing, James?
Hey, it's great to be with you. And yes, I guess I'll call you my little sister today. And so I'm good.
Well,
and it's wonderful to be here.
Well, I don't want to not give the bio that I love to go. I'm going to tell them a little bit more on you, but I just wanted to welcome you as my friend because really today we're talking about some very personal things. But you, my goodness, what don't you do? You're an international author. You're the founder of God Encounters Ministry, which is GEM, G-E-M, and you are a prominent figure in the New Apostolic Reformation movement. You're part of the prophetic elders, apostolic prophetic elders council. And, you know, most people know you as a prophet. They also know you as an artist. You sing. And you are so creative. You have authored about 75 books. I know that one of them, The Seer, is in 25 languages alone. And you are the father of 4, the grandfather of 12.
I can't keep up with you, though, you and Chris.
Let me tell you something. We've known each other a long time before we were grandparents. And I know your adult children, and they are stellar individuals. Each of them is equally as bright and gifted and loving as you are. Just a testament to you. So the reason, though, if you carve space in the middle of all of that for for what grief means, what it does, and how it has affected you, that's because those wonderful children came from a partnership with you and your wife, Michael Willard Goll, and she passed in 2008. I can still hardly believe it has been that long. But James, you have on top of that, you had your own health battle that you were going through, cancer for 9 years. And, you know, the interesting thing when I look at that journey, and I would say I had, if I didn't have a front row seat to it, I had a second or third row seat.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly sure.
And the Lord gave you some dreams along the way, and then very involved with us in prayer. And so we've gone on the journey together.
Yes, we have definitely gone on the journey together. And I'll tell you, one of the things that I loved seeing happen in the midst of your grief was the way you chose to grieve. You let it happen, but you approached it really with the helper's help, the Holy Spirit. And, we talked about calling today's episode Good. But there is a way to grieve well, and we are supposed to grieve. So with that backdrop, you wrote a book in 2020 called Tell Your Heart to Sing Again, Discovering Hope for Your Life. And it was really one of your most raw books ever. And in the very beginning, and I want you to just start out and tell us about it. Chapter 1 is when the bottom falls out, and we find you getting your cancer diagnosis because grief, we've just said, we read the definition, it can mean the loss of a loved one, but you had, in my opinion, grief after grief after grief. Take us back to chapter 1 and what happened there, setting up Tell Your Heart to Sing Again.
Yeah. So I start out actually in the introduction, has hardship ever,
struck your house.
Struck your house. And so Jesus is the one who prepared us because he taught that against every house. Jesus, why did you do this? Against every house comes wind and waves. Every house. So I don't want to be negative in this broadcast, but we need to be prepared. And I don't want people to think that necessarily they're doing something wrong.
Okay, good.
This is so important. This is something that I had to really learn. It doesn't mean necessarily that you're doing something wrong because difficult things happen.
Yeah.
Jesus said winds and waves are going to come against every house. Now, the test is actually, will your house stand? And so it's about what your foundation is. So then having, you can know this, but experiencing it is another thing. So when the bottom falls out, yeah, I remember this. We had this van, okay? A lot of people had vans, all right? And we had one of these vans, and we'd have, the 4 kids. But you'd go through one of these tunnels when you would be, traveling with your kids, and it would get dark in there. And the kids would have this. It's kind of funny that I can actually remember these fun stories, because I'm grandpa now with 12 kids, but I remember this stuff with fondness. And you'd go in the van, and you'd go into these tunnels, and my kids would giggle and make up little sayings, and they'd go, "Who turned out the lights?"
Yeah.
And that was the way life was. Who turned out the lights? But trying to have a redemptive interpretation out of, where did the lights go?
Yeah.
Who turned out the lights? Because it got really dark.
I know exactly what you're talking about, that feeling when you get blindsided in life. So when we come back from the break, I want to talk about, I don't know that we're going to go linearly through this, but your chapter is, does anybody got a roadmap?
There you go.
We need to get on, help people get on track as they're into that tunnel or coming out. So right back.
There you go.
Stay close.
Yeah, thank you.
Some people don't yet realize that essential oils were put by God into our leaves, trees, flowers, and grasses on the 3rd day of creation, all to promote health, provide prevention, and yes, even cures. Other people get that, but maybe they've never had any real success with one particular essential oil, which is why I create oil blends, giving you a better chance for a positive result with numerous health benefits. But there's one thing we all agree upon, and that is that essential oils smell good. They fill up a room with any mood that you need, anytime that you need it. We call it aromatherapy. But maybe you don't know the science behind why aromatherapy works. You see, we inhale through our nasal passages, and the nasal passages have direct access to the limbic brain, which is the emotional center of the brain. This means that scent is immediately tied to mood, but that's good news because you can change your mood by merely changing the aroma in your room. It's like therapy in a bottle, and that's why we call it aromatherapy. At Neuromatics Oil, we take the business of aromatherapy very seriously. We offer you a wide variety of options: candles, diffuser sets, nasal inhalers, even diffuser jewelry so that you can wear your essential oils all day long. Quiet Brain for natural relief from insomnia, anxiety, headache, and more. Happy Brain to lift mood and even help with appetite suppression and depression. And Sharp Brain to help with focus and cognitive memory issues. Naturally, the oil blends themselves, applied topically on the skin, are going to provide faster and more potent relief. But if you're looking for a way to enjoy our oil blends without using them on the skin, aromatherapy is for you. And Neuromatics Oil has you covered. Go to neuromaticsoil.com today, or use your phone and scan the QR code on your screen with your camera app, or call 1-855-784-3827. That's 1-855-QUIET-BRAIN.
1-855-784-3827. That's 1-855-QUIET-BRAIN.
Did you know that there are more than 600 Bible references to aromatic plants and essential oils? Did you know that once upon a time they were our only medicines? They're still medicine today. You see, God made plants and their essential oils to support your health. They're drug-free remedies that can be used from the comfort of your own home with little to no side effects. And although only 5% of natural products get patented, my oil blends, Quiet Brain, Happy Brain, and Sharp Brain, did, because third-party lab tests proved that they crossed the blood-brain barrier with potent relief for everything from migraines to memory loss, insomnia, anxiety, seizures, weight problems, even depression. So go to neuromaticsoil.com today to see my patented oil blends, and there are dozens of therapeutic products: healing lotions, bubble baths, nasal inhalers, even shampoo and conditioners, all created by our family for the health of yours. Go to neuromaticsoil.com or use your phone and camera app to scan the QR code on your screen, or call 1-855-784-3827. That's 1-855-QUIET-BRAIN.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to The Three. I'm Dr. Laura. I'm so glad that you're joining us today. We are talking about grief with James Goll. Let me tell you something. I had this year, within a 2-week period, 3 of my cousins die. I have a massive family, extended family, and James actually contacted me during one of them. I got a text message. It's a big event he was having this summer, and I had to respond to that text and say, I'm at a funeral right now. Yeah. And I got 2 more facing me, it looks like. Please pray. I don't even know how truncated it was, but I entered into a time of mourning on my own, but specifically watching how people grieve, watching how different people grieve differently. Yeah. And I really think, James, this episode was birthed in my heart as a result of that.
That's right.
And so I thought of you.
Uh-huh.
I don't know about you, but I would not want to be thought of when someone's thinking of grief, I don't want them to see my face. But the truth is that if you live life well, if you begin well and you finish well, you're going to have to go through periods of forgiving well, grieving well. And this is just where we find ourselves. And you have, I've just watched you from afar and marveled at the grace you've allowed into your life. So before the break, we were talking about when you go into that tunnel and get blindsided, we set up the book and your teach your heart to sing again, or tell your heart to sing again. And when you are getting that cancer diagnosis, take us then from that into chapter 2 about the roadmap. It's a very practical book.
Yeah, it is. It's one of the more personal, raw, relatable, and my goal was to give hope. And you cannot give something that you've not walked through. And so I was actually working out at the YMCA. And when I was afterwards, I found a nodule in a very private place. And I went, what is this.
Mm.
And fear did try to grab hold of me.
Sure.
Now, I went to a doctor and got a diagnosis. And one of the things was hard was immediately they brought in a big machine and did a bone marrow on
Right
me.
there. Yeah.
And that was very intense, but I ended up with a non-Hodgkin's lymphoma cancer, and it grew very fast. And so the one nodule grew to the size of a cluster of grapes, like within maybe 2 weeks. So this was not something to, play around with. And I was a public figure. So this made things a bit more complicated because what do you do? I called it a public goldfish bowl. So what do you do when you're a public figure and everybody's you feel like it's everybody and it's not, but they're looking in and they're looking at the fish and how do you, it's one thing to walk these things out privately. It's another thing to walk it out in a public spectacle.
Yes.
And then I don't remember the exact sequence. You're actually better at all this sequence than what I am.
Well, and you were in the middle of trauma. I mean,
yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Just tell you from my perspective, we got the news, and yes. Well, let me back up because I have known a lot of people in the public eye over the years. I myself have been in television since I was 3 years old. Okay, TV math, that's 57 years. But it's different when you are in a circle of people who are intercessors, prophets, or
a strong word of faith.
Yes. And if you say, and it wouldn't have happened, or Job's friends who say, try this herb, do this.
And I know I'm going to leapfrog, but the hardest thing out of all of it to deal with was I got surrounded by Job's friends.
Yeah.
And
I remember that. I remember that part.
Who were they? They were believers who had the remedies of, well, this wouldn't have happened if you had done this. Or this has happened because you're a friend of Israel. And if you weren't an Israel person, there were so many wrong equations as Job's friends. So that for me was one of the most difficult things to deal with. Seriously, I was surrounded by Job's friends.
You were. And you know what? I was not a nutritionist at the time. I wasn't a doctor at the time.
No. You were one of them. Okay, please. I wasn't like want you to think that. Okay?
No. I don't think that. I wonder if I would have been that now. But the bottom line is,
no, you wouldn't have been because it's part of it is protocol. And social media. People don't obey protocol on social media, folks. Now, hey, let's move on.
Yeah. Okay. Let me add this, that if you are watching, if you are someone who is watching and you have a friend who's going through something, they get a medical diagnosis, even if you're like me and you have the remedies, first and foremost, take their hand and go sit on the ash heap with them.
Yeah. And
just pray.
Just be with them. There was a place in the book of Job that they just sat together.
Yes.
What was healing? No, and you want to walk like the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit brings comfort.
Right.
And he only speaks when he's been spoken to.
Right.
He only says what he hears the Father and the Son saying.
Amazing revelation. Yes, that's so true in the midst of this. Well, then when we come back to the break.
Okay. All right.
So I can already see what's happening here. We've talked about this. you can stick around for a second episode because we have not even scratched the surface.
We have not.
Okay, good. Well, when we come back from the break, then we're going to be talking more about grief, more about James Goll and the journey he made through grief with cancer and losing a spouse, so much more. But then also we're going to pray for you. Be right back after the break.
So you're on our website trying to select your favorite products, or maybe put a gift package together for a friend. Well, we've done the work for you. Our Pause package encourages rest and contains 1 Quiet Brain healing lotion, therapeutic bubble bath, and a Quiet Brain 50-hour burn candle. Our Uplift package gives you a real mood boost with a Happy Brain candle, healing lotion, and bubble bath. The Self-Care package contains the Quiet Brain healing lotion, bubble bath, and healing shampoo and conditioner. Our Awaken package is made with our Sharp Brain blend and includes 1 nasal inhaler, 1 dropper bottle of oil, 1 bottle of healing lotion, and a Sharp Brain candle. The Sweet Dreams package is popular because it contains 1 dropper bottle of Quiet Brain oil, 1 satin sleep eye mask, and a copy of my best-selling book, Seeing the Voice of God, What God is Telling You Through Dreams and Visions. And don't forget our Quiet Brain gift box, our best value, with a sampling of almost all Quiet Brain products. 1 Whisper Quiet Nightlight Diffuser, 1 dropper bottle of oil, a nasal inhaler, candle, shampoo and conditioner set, and even a satin sleep eye mask. But my personal favorite is our trio oil sets that allow you to sample all 3 of our patented Neuromatic oil blends while only paying for 2. They're available in dropper bottles, rollerball bottles, and our eyedropper pump bottle. Scan the QR code on your screen, go to neuromaticsoil.com, or call 1-855-784-3827. That's 1-855-QUIET-BRAIN.
1-855-784-3827. That's 1-855-QUIET-BRAIN.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Dr. Laura. You're watching The 3, and we are talking today about grief. Have you lost a loved one? Have you lost hope? Has your heart lost the ability to sing again? I'm here today with the author of Tell Your Heart to Sing Again. You know him. He's been on this show many, many times. But today, very personal reason, Dr. James Goll. James, welcome back. We are in a final segment here of this show, and we are talking about your book, Tell Your Heart to Sing Again. But take us from, we're going to do 2 shows because the last part of this book is so powerful about never, never, never giving up, what to do, how to get out of that season and into the new place God has for you. But I want you to take us the rest of the way from how you got to the cancer diagnosis, everything that happened with Michael Lynn, and to just how you got through that season, because there's somebody else who's watching today who needs to follow that journey, and then we're going to pray for them at the end.
Yes, so everybody is on a unique journey. And so we must avoid comparison and contrast. I had a dream about that this morning. Wow. So learn from what I have to give and what Laura, Dr. Smith here, has to give. But the Holy Spirit is going to meet you right where you are. What happened for me? Sometimes I wondered, folks, where he was. I felt like it wasn't true. I felt like at times the eyes of the charismatic world was judging me.
Wow.
Or was evaluating me. And I had become Mr. Mom. I was what? My kids all had scattered all around to Australia, to New York City, to California. And I felt I had to gather my little chicks back home. Michael Ann had graduated to heaven. We never thought she would do that. Mm-hmm. I was now, at this point in time, cancer had exploded a 3rd time in my body. It wasn't now just a dose of cancer. The 3rd time, I didn't tell people what I was really going through. I kind of learned a lesson. I was actually fighting for my life. And the intensity of treatment that I went through, it was difficult.
Difficult.
And so I was fighting for my life. I was now Mr. Mom, and it sounds like I'm doing a country song that comes from Nashville, Tennessee. And it wasn't filled with hope.
Yeah. Well, and that's your, in chapter 5, the door of hope. Mm-hmm. How did you find it? We're kind of glossing over, we're glossing over the whole Michael Ann part.
It's okay.
You're now going through all of this in your body, but then in the middle of it, she graduates to heaven, and now you're going through it alone, and the chicks scatter. Mm-hmm. We're both empty nesters now, but the timing of everything that you went to, James, the Lord literally had you all to himself. Yep. And it's not good for man to be alone. And so many of us were trying to pray for you.
And a lot of people were trying to fix me up.
And fix you up. And at the end of the day, you're yourself. So how'd you find the door of hope?
The door of hope found me.
Oh, okay.
I would say this is where, I believe there's two wheels of a bicycle, two pedals. And this is where I would say you got to believe that God is going to come and help the helpless. And on this bicycle, this is free will, and then there's sovereignty. And it takes both of these truths held in tension.
Wow.
I've never been as much the sovereignty of God person.
Yeah.
I'm a Wesleyan, and we don't have time to go in theology.
Oh, I know exactly where you're going with that, though.
But you know what? I needed God to do something that I needed God. And you know what? I couldn't open the door myself. I couldn't.
Let me just say this then.
Yeah.
I'm going to invite people to come back our next episode, but for right now, I want to tell you, if you are going through grief, I want you to know that, as James has said, there's free will and there's the sovereignty of God.
That's right.
You do as much as you can, as so far as it depends on you, body, mind, and spirit.
That's right.
But I heard you say one time, James, get out your big guns. You got to do all of it.
That's right.
So I also urge you to very much so rely on the sovereignty of God.
There you go.
Ask him to do those things that you cannot do. I pray that over you
right now.
No matter what situation that you are grieving or are afraid you're about to start grieving, listen.
Yeah.
You can roll that burden on him.
That's
As we close out this episode, James, I want to thank you for being with us. And I just want to say I'm glad that you're coming back for another show because we've got so much more to cover. So don't miss next week because we're going to be back with part 2 of the author of Tell Your Heart to Sing Again, James Goll.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us.